talk about a Clark pump. This is a Clark pump. I put 200 pound or 100 some pound water in the bottom, and it cycles a plunger, goes and fills the cylinder, and then I use return water. This is the water that comes back from the tube on fittings. One goes out to the tube, one comes back. And that water at 700 some pounds pushes on the cylinders that already have 200 pound water in it and makes the 800 pound water that I need. So it is a multiplier using hydraulic principles. So the feed water comes in down to the bottom there. This is the brine water over the side. This is the tube that has the membrane in it. And right now it's not mounted because I'm making new hard stainless lines to the ends and getting rid of the root gold barb. Just getting rid of all the extra fittings that are on the end of it. And once we get that done, everything can be mounted. Right now it's just shoehorned and sitting in there. And the heart of the system is supplied by a couple of pumps. This is a vane pump that develops up to 200 pounds of pressure. It's used, works just fine. And then of course this little pump right in here shoehorned in is a priming pump. That's what picks up seawater through that strainer, which still has to be mounted, provides that seawater to a primary filter. Keep in mind we are in the Vero Indian River. So we're just doing some testing. The filters are getting pretty dirty, but I don't see a huge vacuum across them. Seeing about 0 there with pressure. Seeing about 3 inches of vacuum here. Well, pardon me, 2 inches of vacuum there. I'm seeing about 5 inches of vacuum here. And then from the primary 20 micron and the secondary 5 micron, we go down, and that runs down under the deck to the Clark pump. And we're shoehorned into the engine compartment because we're on a Beneteau 440 and there's not a lot of room to put it anyplace else. And thanks for playing along. Such is the life of a cruising sailor. There's always good news when the system is in and watertight. This is the back side of the control panel for Watermaker. We have a 25 amp breaker here. That's for the high pressure pump. Now my high pressure pump is 200 pounds. That 200 pounds goes into a Clark pump. The Clark pump is what makes the water pressure for the membrane. The Clark pump is a mechanical pressure doubler or pressurizer. This is low pressure, that's for the feed pump. That's a little feed pump. All it does is take it off the strainer and push it up into the filter system. Major electrical is over here. We got to get a cover made for that. I'm going to have to plastic coat or make a cover for that switch plate. I'm probably just going to plastic coat the terminals. This is our high pressure gauge on top. That goes to 1,000 pounds. We're cycling between 700 and 800 on the Watermaker right now. And the low pressure gauge shows me the pressure up to 200 pounds. That's a 200 pound gauge. The control panel itself came scavenged off the free table up in Belhaven. Somebody gave it away. That is the flow meter. The only thing I'm going to do here is if I put a light any place in here behind the flow meter, it shines through and I can see flow at night. That's my product selector valve. That valve allows me to look or to shift between water going out to the test faucet and water going out to the connection to the boat's tankage. The connection to the boat's tankage is right over here, and that's that little line. The water pump for the boat is sitting right there. So that makes pressurized water, and that pressurized water comes up into the output manifold, and this goes into the manifold that has all the selector valves for the various tanks. So I'm filling directly into the tanks here. here we have the control panel. You can see the low pressure on the bottom and the low pressure breakers to the right of that. That's the feed water pump breaker to the right, and that feed water goes to a low pressure pump. The low pressure pump is a 200-pound pump, nothing greater than that. And that pump supplies the Clark pump, which is the pressure multiplier. And then you can see the upper gauge is actually the high pressure coming off the Clark pump going through the membrane. You can see that we have flow. We are actually in the product water. We're filling one of the tanks right now. At the cost of pre-filters, it was better for me to make the system operate and test now instead of someplace strange and foreign. So there you see the system making water. Thank you, Chuck and Val, for giving me your old used system when you replaced it with a new one. Here we are looking at parts per million TDS, and right now our water's running 41 parts per million. Which, let me get that over the sink, 41 parts per million. It's pretty damn good. I'm just going to tell you. This is on an old pickled membrane that came with the used system I got. The water tastes good, the water smells good, and I think we have a winner. And I have a new membrane. In fact, I have a second one on order. So we'll be set.